we do not have a mortgage here. So we spend about $1,500 a month. We were fortunate. I'm a realtor in the United States. I would love to sell real estate here too, but my job of 20 plus years was in real estate. So we were fortunate when we did decide to make that move to South Africa. We put our house on the market. And this is how you know God is real and things happen in his plan. One day, my house went on the market. That same day, my house was sold for $700,000. It made it very easy for us to come here and buy this home for a little over half of what we sold our house for. Hello, I am Sabu, SBU. Welcome to my home. Hello, I am Sabu, SBU for my family in the United States, but they gave me the name of Sabu when I actually came to South Africa. Sabu is God's blessings, and I receive all of that goodness. So I am Sabu. I've been on YouTube, I think about 3 years now. I am a wife. I've been married for 29 years. My husband and I are business owners, and we actually recently, within 9 months, decided to move to South Africa. Let's start here in this area. This is what I call maybe like the family room, the dining room, formal areas. We have here just a sitting area. We have our formal dining. And over here is just a sitting area, and we picked a round sofa for conversation. So when you're here, you can't help but talk to each other. Cannot help but talk to each other. Now, over here in this area, I haven't figured out yet what we're doing here, but it's just a nice little cubby waiting for something nice. All right, here we have our kitchen, the kitchen area. We gas stove. This is definitely made for a chef. I'm not a big cooker, but it is made for a chef. Now, here in South Africa, they do have something they call scullery. Scullery is somewhat like a second kitchen. So in other words, here people will conjugate, drink, eat, but not so much cooking goes on, even though the oven is here. But you also have a scullery for washing, drying, clothing, prepping food and things of that nature. It's right this way. All right, so in this home, we do have 2 garages, but I'll show you the other one on the other side. It's easier. All right, so over here in this area, we, in the States, it's called like a morning room, but here we call it like a TV area, TV room. This is where we come here sometimes and just chill and watch TV. Now, this is the first floor of the house, or the main floor of the home. Over in this area here, this is what we call our entertainment area. Here you have a braai, which is a huge grill inside the home. So if you are one of those grillers and you like to cook inside, that's what it is. We have a full-size bar, actually a oversized bar. Let me rephrase that, oversized bar. We have not completed the bar yet. We don't even really know what to do with the bar. We're not big drinkers at all, but it's here. But this area here is for entertainment. We have like the inside, outside area with these doors open. You are able to be actually outside. And they all do fold back. Over there is where my current YouTube studio is being, we're using that area for the YouTube studio. So let's come this way and I'll take you outside. You can see the pool, the garden, the sitting area. You'll see why we like this home. What actually brought us to this side of the world is a prophecy. About 25 years ago, someone prophesied to my husband that he would be in Africa. 25 years ago, but we dismissed it. It was like, okay, never thought of being in Africa, never thought of even visiting Africa. But recent years, about 2 years ago now, it came up again. And at this particular time, my husband had friends that were actually living in South Africa. So we got on the phone with them, or he actually got on the phone with him, and he was like, come and visit. So we actually came to visit. And when we did that, my husband was like, South Africa is where we should go. So it was actually a word from God, definitely. And a lot of prayer. My husband went into that prayer closet every morning and And every night, like, look, is this for real? Could this really be? I'm moving. You want me to go to it wasn't South Africa at that time. It was Africa. And the message was yes. Far as I go, I said to myself, hey, look, I can praise God wherever I'm at. Okay. I didn't give any pushback. I didn't do it. I was like, okay, let's go. And we started the trip. We actually came our first time mid-March of 2024. We looked for houses. We checked out the scenery. We did all those things. And we said, yeah, this is good. I actually think South Africa is a very soft landing for people that are coming from the United States. I must say, English-speaking people, very welcoming, the way that they live. We have all the technology that we actually need. So it was a very soft landing. The malls are incredible. You know, if I want to be realistic about it, I'm really not missing anything being here. All right, so here's our pool. This pool is probably about 10 to 12 feet deep. We haven't really gotten a good answer yet. I'm going to show you something really special about this pool. We'll do that in just a moment. But this is the pool area. Over there we have a lounge area. Here we have our garden. I actually absolutely love the garden. In the garden we have planted lemon trees, pomegranate tree, and we have, oh my God, look at my lemon tree. Oh, this is real. I haven't seen it in a while. Look at the lemon tree. Oh my gosh, look. We have 2 lemon trees, a pomegranate tree, 2 apple trees. I mean, this is exciting. Y'all, I have not seen my lemon tree in a while. I have not looked at it, but look at the lemons. This is outstanding. This is not something you get in your backyard in the United States. So this is exciting to me. So listen, that is so nice. But this is our garden area. Very quaint. Sun hits it just right. It's a cool area to be in. Wow. With lemons. And y'all, guess what? If y'all have not tried a lemon tree, they smell fantastic. So that's why I'm loving this tree and I'm so excited about my lemon tree. So come on back inside. I'm going to show you the remaining of the house. We'll go downstairs to the basement. I guess that's the best place to go. Come on this way. We were not searching for anything. We had a message from God that we needed to leave the United States. Now, to go in more depth about the United States, we are believers and followers of Christ. So we actually believe the word of God when it says that the United States is Babylon and the United States is under judgment. So all of those things are very real to us. And with the message from God saying you need to go, we actually just said, okay, we need to be obedient and we need to go. So we were not running away from anything. We actually had a very good life. We had been, like I said, at that point in time, 28 years married. We had been in the home that we were in for 20 years. That was our forever home. We were fine. We were good. There was nothing terrible going on in our life. We are business owners. That was going very well. So it came somewhat of a surprise, but when God delivers you for something, you don't sit back and be like, not today, maybe tomorrow. You just say, okay, if you're in that position, actually you should do it whether you're in that position or not, because it's not for you to decide whether you're in a position to go, because he's giving you a message. So I'm sure he's going to make all the appropriate arrangements for you to go. All right, so we're back here inside the home. Let's take let's go to the basement at this time. All right, so in the basement, we have some fun areas. We're calling it our game family fun area. But the one that we have at this point completed is the cinema lounge area. So this is our movie theater. The movie theater sits about 9 people, but you could just crowd up in here. It really doesn't matter. It's a very fun room. My first impression of Africa when I got to the airport, well, no, let's go back a little bit. My first impression of coming to Africa is I looked around on the airplane. I didn't see anyone that looked like us. Maybe 1 or 2 people. That was interesting to me. I was thinking, hey, there's no African Americans or no brown people on this plane. That kind of sparked my interest. I'm thinking, So then when I got to the airport, I noticed again, not many of us. So my whole thought about coming to Africa was, why haven't, and then when I get here, why haven't someone told us about this? Because it's very modern, right? You have airport, you have homes, you have all these things, and you can see those things as you come in, or you just get the information from your friends that already live here about living here. They tell you, no, you can live a very good life. Everything is good. So then when you're on your way on, you have this, when you're on your way here, you have a preconceived notion of what you're going to see or how things are going to be. So then you're wondering why there are not a lot of us coming over. You're looking around. So that was my first thought, was like, why were there not more of us visiting, if nothing else but visiting? So then when I got here and started seeing the homes, because keep in mind, we had done some research prior. So I knew then at that point that it was offering a whole lot more than what we knew of Africa. I didn't see any, we wouldn't go on any mud huts. There was electricity, there was Wi-Fi, there was internet. All these things are current and present. And then when we actually got to the bank, it was like, oh, wait a minute. The banking system is like outstanding. All these things on your phone, on your app, you can handle all these things yourself. So I was quite surprised. And I decided I wanted to tell everybody about it, because in the States, we didn't let everyone into our life the way we do here. You didn't know what my house looked like. You didn't know you did know what kind of car I drove, because I was so excited. I'm excited about cars. But even though it was my life, some things we did not let you in. You came into the studio of SBU, but you didn't come into the home of SBU. Because we just felt like it wasn't safe to do so. Now, that's interesting because, the first thing you hear about South Africa is crime. Be quiet, don't talk. You can't say nothing when you're over there, witchcraft, all this. I'm not saying these things could not or may not happen, but it is not, that's the image of what we heard about South Africa. And I haven't experienced that, don't want to experience any of those things, but it's not that way. There's a whole nother side of living in South Africa that I think needs to be shared. And also in the basement, we have a wine cellar. But this is the fun part about the wine cellar. It has a window in it that is inside the pool. So you can actually see how deep the pool really is. Y'all forgive the window. It's a bit dirty. It is wintertime, so we have not had the window clean in a moment, but this is actually the pool. And you can actually see how deep it really is. All right, also in the basement, we have a potential SBU studio coming soon, right this way. This is my potential studio. I don't particularly like being in the basement, but this is an outstanding room for a studio. So maybe coming soon. My outlook has definitely changed on being in South Africa, on life, because when you're in the United States, I didn't realize it, but you're you're in some sort of gosh, how can I describe it? I can't, that's your world. Nothing else exists. You may go on vacation. You may go to Mexico. You may go somewhere outside of the United States, but it's really just the United States. That's all that exists. But when you cross the Atlantic and you come to the other side, now you're like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm over here with London now. I'm over here. You feel like you're close to everything else. You realize that there's a whole nother world that you knew nothing about. It opens your eyes to the way other people live, things that are going on Egypt. I mean, everything. It's like an eye opener. You have a whole nother world out there that you knew nothing about. Because when you do live in the United States, you have everything that you need, or you think you do. You have everything. You don't desire, you can go to another state and you be just fine. You can go to another state and get to catch the mountains, catch the beach. You're just there, and you just feel like you don't need to go any further. And that's the mindset that I developed. So yes, it's definitely opened my mind to the rest of the world and how other people live and think, and so many more things. I'm learning. Here, a game room. This will be the room where all the fun stuff happens. We want to have, gaming systems, gumball machines, everything. We want to actually have a ping pong table. We want to redo this room as a total game room. Coming soon. And over here in the corner, this actually is the restroom. So this is going to be a rest area, or bathroom, toilet, whatever you want to call it. But this is going to be a restroom for the basement area. So you don't have to run all the way upstairs, but this is a restroom. Coming soon. So we got some work cut out for us, guys. We definitely do. Well, in America, we did not have a basement. So this is a pleasure to actually be able to have room in order to, just extra rooms in the house, to have play areas, invite people over, just have good times in your home. These homes are definitely made for entertainment purposes, and why not? So listen, let's go this way. This is our storage area. I don't know if this is impressive or not, but this is the storage area. When we actually came from the U.S., we came with 25 pieces of luggage, and everything else we left there. Over here are the 25 pieces of luggage that we actually came with. And there's more, but that's the gist of them. 25. We put actually 28 years at that time of life together into 25 bags and brought it over here to South Africa. Okay, so this is not my monthly budget or how much we spend. This is not going to be fair because we do not have a mortgage here. So we spend about $1,500. That's it. A month. $1,500 a month because we don't have a mortgage. We were fortunate. I'm a realtor in the United States. I would love to sell real estate here too, but my job of 20 plus years was in real estate. So we were fortunate when we did decide to make that move to South Africa. We put our house on the market. And this is how you know God is real and things happen in his plan. One day, my house went on the market. That same day, my house was sold. 45 days later, we actually closed on our property as far as selling it. I'm going to do real numbers because I'm not there anymore. But we sold our home for $700,000. I can't even tell you how much that is in rand right now. I'm not a conversion calculator, but we sold it for $700,000. It made it very easy for us to come here and buy this home for a little over half of what we sold our house for. We had been our home for 20 years, so we were in a very good position with the equity and selling our property. I'm a realtor, so the expenses of paying someone were not there either. So we were in a really good position to actually leave at the time we did. And like I said, the real estate market then, a year ago, was a seller's market. So anyway, we were able in a good position, and we bought. We just had a lot of cash at the time because of how we were set, how God actually set us up throughout those 25 years. So with that being said, when we got here, we actually paid for our home. So there's no mortgage on our home. As far as the internet, we have high-speed internet. It's $100 a month. Earlier on, I showed you our solar panel system. We actually have solar panels, so we're actually off the grid. So we do have to pay for street lights and trash pickup. That is approximately like $40, right? So where are we now? $140. Now, the two things that are very expensive, I would say, are insurance. We have insurance on our home and our car, which is right at $300. And then we have taxes that we pay on our home, which is expensive, which is probably about $300 a month also. So those are the major expenses. Our cell phone bill, I couldn't even really tell you how much. We have a local phone. We don't do much, I couldn't really tell you, but food is where we spend all our money. And actually, it was food and Uber because we did not have a car. So we calculated it one time, and it was right at $1,500 was what we were spending. And that's what, a little bit less, probably about 35,000 Rand a month is what we were spending. Like I said, that's not fair because we don't have a mortgage. Is coming from the United States, we don't have creditors and bills and things here. So, not much at all. Okay, well, what do we call it? Entertainment. See, entertainment for us is dining out. It is, it's not much. I would say, furnishing the house has been our largest expense, and we have been furnishing this house and paying for upgrades and things of that nature for like the last 6 or 7 months. So that has been what we've spent money on. But as far as normal everyday living, somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000, and that's it. Absolutely, it's more affordable for one reason, because like I said, it was a seller's market, so we were able to take advantage of all the equity that had come about over the 20 years we live in our home. So, the questions are often asked, what you do with the equity. You can't refinance your house, you have to, all of that. So we were able to take it out, go buy another house, be debt-free as far as mortgage goes. So that is a plus within itself. Even the regular expenses, though, are less expensive. Food here is, way less. I mean, you can eat here 2 people for $10 a breakfast or something, $10 to $15. You can't do that in the United States. Let's see, taxes, though, I find to be pretty much the same. Taxes on our home, yeah, but there are some things. Food is, I think, the largest noticeable thing. When we first came here, we went out to a restaurant, and it was like a 5-course restaurant, white tablecloth and everything. And 5 people, 5 courses, $120 for all 5 people. I thought that was outrageous. So food has been the biggest noticeable difference. All right, so I am driving now. My husband and I are driving now. Y'all know I have a dream. Well, y'all may not know, but I have a dream car. This is not it, but this is the vehicle that we've chosen for the time, and we're enjoying it. Learning how to drive from the right-hand side of the car on the left side of the street is difficult, y'all. Difficult and different, but we're learning. We're enjoying the experience. What more could I say? Since we've been here, my husband's always been talking about we got to be off the grid, off the grid. So we actually had a solar panel system installed in the home, and these things are batteries. So we actually don't have to necessarily participate in load shedding. So if we are experiencing load shedding, the batteries kick in, our power stays on, and this is what the system looks like. Load shedding is when there are particular areas in this area, Johannesburg area, Pretoria area, when the power shuts down. There is an app that will tell you that your community will be experiencing load shedding for 2 hours, 1 hour, or what have you. Everything shuts down, power goes off, electricity goes off, nothing. But because we're off the grid and we have solar panels, what happens is during the day, the panels store up energy, and if the lighting should go out, it stores it up in these batteries. We have 3 huge batteries, so if it should go out, it kicks in, and we're back to normal. No, we have not lost power, electricity, everything goes on as though, actually, we don't even know that it's happening. So we're fortunate to be able to do that. We have 3 large batteries. I think this is like such an interesting thing. I mean, it's amazing. But those are batteries. All right. So let's go back inside. Oh, this is one of the garages. This house does have 2 garages, and it holds 8 cars. So 4 cars in each garage. I don't know who would have 8 cars, but hey, maybe. All right. So now I think we're going to go upstairs. All right, follow me. Something that's surprising about spending or saving. Okay, luxury items. In the United States, I had managed, my husband bought me one car that I've loved for many years. It was a GLE Mercedes-Benz. That's the little coupe Mercedes. I had just gotten one right before we left, so I had to sell it. I sold it back to Mercedes. It was a very smooth deal. We did not lose any money. I was so surprised about that, but we lost no money. That was like, okay, here's God again. So anyway, we got over here. It was like, we're going to buy another one. Got over here, and that car is $35,000 more here than it is in the United States. That was a shocker. So what I'm learning, then so when I go shopping, some things I like, perfumes, what have you, designer, some things, are very expensive. Actually, if they're imported luxury items, they are more expensive than they are in the United States. Now, that was a shocker to me because I definitely thought, we was going to keep in, conjunction with whatever else is going on. But no, luxury items are more expensive here. So, it makes me rethink myself. Although I love that car, I'm like, would I really pay that much money for that car? I'm still thinking probably not, but I'm still like, I like that car. So, luxury items. All right, so here we have our floating staircase, which we absolutely love. And we actually go up and down these stairs 1,000,000 times a day. That's something we had to get used to. In the States, our bedroom was actually on the first floor, but this is something we've actually gotten used to, and I think this may have added some years to our life, right? Got to keep in shape some kind of way. So here on this main level, or the second floor, we have 5 bedrooms. All right, so we're going to go to the smaller of the 5 bedrooms on this side. All right, these 2 bedrooms are pretty much made the same. The first one here we're actually using as an exercise room, but you could take a look. Forgive the mess. We are redoing this room, but this is going to be an exercise room. And it has a balcony here that you can look out. So this room is going to be great to work out in any time of night, because if it's dark, you can see the lights and catch some sightseeing and all of that, which I don't know if you can actually see it during the day, but it's a pretty good view. It's motivation. But this is going to be our exercise room, which is actually a bedroom also. Right next door here, there is another. And forgive us for vacuuming and doing all these things, but this is actually a bedroom also. Same pretty much as the one right next door. You have balcony that you can go out and sit. The balcony actually connects to 2 bedrooms. All right, so something I definitely want to show you that is a added feature here. All right, so let me share this with you. Some people call it a lanai. I just say it's a balcony. There's different words for it, but this is like a cool area that you could come out, just have a cup of coffee. Actually, you can come out and work out this time of morning here or whatever you want to do, because it's nice and cool and covered. So you could come out here and just enjoy some time. But this area here, we have not completed it yet. We just put the umbrella out, but I'm going to put some furniture here. And this is just a cool area to come out and chill. This is like a balcony, a sitting area on the second floor of the house. All right. So you can also enter the home this way. This is the other side of the scullery. This is actually the helper's quarters or the domestic quarters of the home. I'm not going to actually show that area, but this is actually the way that you can enter to that part of the home. All right, so now we're going to go to the en-suites. We have two en-suites that are on the other side of the home. All right, so here we have the first en-suite. And an ensuite is just a bedroom with a bathroom and shower, toilet, everything with inside the bedroom. So here we go. So the en-suites are kind of set up like hotels, and this is where the visitors would actually sleep. We've had one set of guests right now, D&D. We had a very good time, but this is actually their room. This is the room that my guests will be staying in. Guests and family, actually. I would definitely say visit. Make sure this is something that you want to do. Don't go off of my life and what I've done. Things were set up pretty perfect for us. But definitely just do it. When I say do it, I mean go visit. And then once you're here and you see that this is the kind of life you can actually lead and be comfortable, and I'm not talking about for a year, I'm talking about for a lifetime. Some things you have to just set in place. And even if you want to do it for a short term, get a visa or something and live in the area to see if it's something that you can actually do. But I would say do it. Definitely visit. Don't allow the Western media or individuals who did not plan their life well, impose on your thoughts, and just like myself, don't let my life, determine what you do either. Come over, take your time, do the research, and, see if it's something that you can actually do. How we earn our income now. We are still business owners in the United States. We are here in South Africa as retirees. In other words, we have but we have put someone in charge of our business in the United States, but we still run that same business and we still make the same money. But what we do now is we wired it over here. We wired the money here and we use that money to actually live off of. But we are retired people. We actually were in that particular business for over 20 years, 2005. So, and it's a security firm, so we still have that business, and hopefully we have that business till we go on. But that is how we live here. Yeah, and of course we had savings and things of that nature. This area here is what some would consider like a pajama lounge. We have not actually furnished it yet, but this is just an area where you come like in the morning, sit down and just chill, have a good day, begin your day thinking, reading, or whatever it is you desire to do. And over here on this side, we have another ensuite. This one is not furnished yet because we are just getting started, actually. Completing the home, it would take probably some time. But this is just another ensuite. This one's a bit bigger than the one on the other side. My home in America was a bit more traditional, but it was what would be considered a large home. More traditional though, not so. This gives me a very modern feel. We did have en-suites though. The bathrooms were in the bedrooms. But in one case, the two bedrooms actually shared a bathroom. So that's a little different. This is a very modern thing. This is a very modern thing. It's different considering the house is not new. It's very modern. All right, so here is, going this direction, is our main suite, master bedroom. Okay, keep in mind that we live here. So if things are out of place, it's because we live here. So this is a very large master bedroom. I would say I had a large master bedroom, but not this large. By no means was my house in the United States It was not this big at all, but it would be considered a large home. And I moved all the way over here for this closet. Y'all know that a woman's dream is a huge closet. So I have here, me and Mr. Boss have a huge closet that we love and enjoy. You just want to get over here and fill it up, actually. That's what you want to do. That's what I want to do. Huge closet. It would take us, I don't even think we ever fill it up. I don't, but maybe. We'll try. Oh, this is the master bath. This is the master bath. We have a huge garden tub. I have not used it. We have a waterfall shower and a regular shower also. Double shower. Very spacious master bath. All right, so this is something that's very different. Apparently, the people who lived here before us ran a business in their home. So they had some things that were just different, business ready. But we changed them and we made them more so lounge area. So come this way. And this is continuing on to the master suite. So what we have here is we have like a break room, an additional rest room this way. So we have a half bath here. Beside the half bath, we have like a kitchen, a little mini kitchen where it services the master bedroom. You got microwave, refrigerator, sink, ice, whatever you need for something quick and easy, and you don't want to walk all the way downstairs to get it. So here we have our study, our work area, and we actually do work. We do. But this is our work area. It's not yet completely furnished or what have you, but this is the actual study. So me and Mr. Boss can just jump out the bed, come over here, plug up the computers, and do some work if necessary. And here is what we call the master lounge. It's just an additional TV area for the master bedroom. Here, we come in, you can pray in the morning, have peace. We two different areas. We don't bother each other. If I want to watch something different on TV, I can come here and watch. He can stay there. It's just a master lounge. It's just an additional room onto the master bedroom. But again, like I said, this home was built. It was a business here in this actual part of the home. We're finishing up now. What I want, you won't be able to see it too very well, but if you look out, you see the views here at night are excellent. See out that way, you see some mountain areas in this way, and it's all lit up at night. So straight city. Definitely more free. What we were able to do with monies from selling the home, and like I haven't said it, but we sold everything. We did not bring anything over here. We were able to invest in a bank here. We put in a maximizer account where we can actually gain interest. And we are at that nice age where they like to give you a little bit more money, a little more interest because you're older and your money can sit for a little longer. So that's what we actually do. And we want to get to the point where we're living totally off of the interest that we make from the proceeds of sales and things of that money that we already had. Now, when we get there, we're going to be really free. We want to get there. We're not far from it. Actually, we actually could do it if we stop eating so much. But for now, that's the goal, is to live off the interest of the investments that you made. Yes, a new hustle and something that some endeavors I want to go into that I did not go into in the U.S. Yes. I would love to be an actress. I would love to go into that field just to learn. Even if I'm never on a TV show, never on a commercial, I want to go through the process of learning something new and different, and acting is what it is. I would love to do that. What did my family say about the decision for us to relocate to South Africa? They didn't believe us. Even though we went on a trip, came, visited, stayed 2 weeks or so, went back, told them exactly what we saw and what the intentions were, they still did not believe us. So we continued to move forward. And when it became time to go, it was like, what? What you talking about? We even asked, won't you come and go with us? And the one I'm speaking about the most is my dad. About 3 years ago, my mother passed away. So it left him by himself per se. I have three other siblings, and he chose me. I'm the baby. He chose me to be the one that took care of him or takes care of him. And there's nothing wrong with my father. I mean, he drives, he does everything. But, doctor's appointment, keeping up with his bills and things of that nature, he chose me to do that. So I had been doing that for that length of time. But I told him I need, come with. And he was like, no, no, And so when it came time to go, we actually left. And he did not believe we was gone. My sister said, I left my sister in charge at this point. She's not here. And he was like, so he got a little, I don't know if it was scared, angry, or whatever. He just refused to believe it. Now he's saying, so when y'all coming back? He's still not adjusting to the fact that we're not coming. I mean, he is adjusting, but it's like hard to swallow. He was like, he just knew that I would be there forever. And my sister's explaining to him, she has a husband. This is their life. She's doing something else. And that was him. Nieces, daughter, children, they were more, again, not believing. But then in the end, when it was time to pack the stuff and get ready to go, they tried to show, some emotion. And we was like, hey, look, y'all live right around the corner. We hadn't seen y'all in about 3 months. Just act like we're around the corner. Or better yet, this gives you somewhere to go. Have you gotten your passport yet? Because these are things that we had been asking our children to do along the way. Go get, grandbabies, did you get the passport? Stepmother, did you go get your passport? I'm working on it. Your passport is not something you work on. You just go do it and it's done. And they did not. So now that we're here, it's, I miss y'all. Oh, really? Okay, we're right around the corner. Just, So that's kind of in the, how it goes. But a few of them we would love to come visit. But I don't know. I don't know if they'll actually take the time to go get the passports and put in the little work to actually do that. So has being here in South Africa changed how I see myself? Yes. The one thing I can think of the most is being in South Africa is a humbling experience. Even though I'm reminding myself that I need to become more humble. I lived in a place where, I'm not going to lie, I was privileged. I grew up with a mother and a father. Even though we were low income, I had no idea. I had everything I needed. But coming here, I realized not everybody has that life. And even if they, have a mother and father, they still may not have that. So it's very humbling. And, God can only use you when you can hear him. So that's a position that we need to be in. So that I'm constant reminder, you have to remain humble. And it's a lot of things that they do here. They don't speak loud. They don't move fast. There's not a lot of pressure. I'm coming again from a place where, as a black woman, sometimes I have to be assertive, or some would say maybe aggressive. So that's just business. Being a business owner, being in real estate, you have to demand sometimes what you want. And here it's just different. Here it's just the vibe. and you get a hold of it and you start, realizing that, that's not really serious. That's not really important. And, so it's changing me in that way. And I think it's definitely for the best. What brings me peace here versus or compared to the United States is the business. Being in the United States, I was very hands-on with our business. Getting someone else to perform those duties on a daily basis brings me 80% of peace. Because we were in a field that I generally work with men every single day, law enforcement every single day. Things have to be a certain way, so there's no cutting a corner. None. So I had to present a certain way. I had to do business a certain way. So not having to do that brings me a lot of peace. Not saying that I want to slum down on those particular traits or anything, but it's just I don't have to. So that helps me a lot. It helps me fall back a lot. sacrifices I had to make in order to actually come or live comfortably here. First thing comes to mind is that GLE. First thing comes to mind is that GLE, only because I like that car. So y'all just look over me. But serious sacrifices is just, I've been in the United States all my life. I'm moving to a new country. That is big. This is not America. Things function differently. I have to adjust. I have to adjust. I have to have new language. I have to do things differently. I have to understand that this is not how it works here. So my whole life is somewhat of a sacrifice. Even though I live well, it's still a huge sacrifice because I am used to doing things a certain way in the U.S. And I can't even give you a particular thing besides it's just all the things that conveniences, being able to run out by myself. Just that's a big one. The independence-ness of being able to run to the mall by myself. Now, I'm not saying that I can't do that, but my husband won't allow me to do that. And it goes back to all the messages that we've gotten about things not being safe and things of that nature. So that's a big deal. But it's a very soft landing here. So I would say I'm instead of a huge sacrifice, I'm compromising a bit. You know, I'll go to the mall, but my husband's going to go with me. So you can imagine what that's like, right? I may not have the GLE, but I have something nice. So, you know, but it's just moving, leaving, and just leaving everything behind. I sacrificed my family. I sacrificed everything I knew for something different. But I was willing to do so because, like I said, I kind of know my purpose and what's most important, and that's to follow Christ. So it made it much easier. It's making it much easier than, you know. How did I build my community here and have I felt welcome? I feel very welcome in South Africa, very welcome. I have not yet, I would say, completed in any way my community in South Africa as far as South Africans go. As far as individuals that are from the United States, it was amazing how this community came together. It's a lot of us. And it was just like an email, or it could have been in the grocery store. Hey, you from the U.S.? I hear I hear your accent. Oh yeah. Well, we have this group. Things of that nature have just been happening, and for some reason, we have just been coming together. Every time we meet, that's another couple. I get emails all the time. There's another couple. So we've been meeting like that. So the community of the United States, from people from the United States here is just growing. So that community is very much excelling. As far as a community from, individuals from South Africa, I have not. I know a few, but not a whole lot. I would like for that to grow. And I think putting myself out there a bit more will allow that to happen. And that's to come. Again, we've only been here 9 months. So that's coming soon. Do I feel more happier here than the U.S.? I would say yes, definitely. We have more peace. Whenever you can have more peace and, the ability to block out distractions and concentrate on what is important in your purpose, it definitely brings you more wealth. And yeah, more peace, definitely. What matters more to me now, this is going to sound crazy because it was definitely important in the United States also. But I think the time that we're in, what matters to me more now is that I'm obedient to the Word of God, that I follow the scriptures and make sure that we are living in God's principles. That is what's most important to me now. Where do I see myself and my family next 5 years? I would think that we are permanent residents here of South Africa. I hope to be doing some acting, and I think we would have built a community, family, and business here. When I say family, I mean a family here in South Africa. Our family, if they come over, we would love to have them, but I think we would be more settled in the choices that we've made here. And I think we'll be prospering here with a business, actually. If I could speak to myself in the past, before the move. Did I know about the move or not? If I knew about the move, I probably would have spoken to myself and said, what are you doing? Are you serious? But the reality of it is I did not give it a thought. But prior to that, knowing about the move, I'm just saying, God, what is you doing? God, what are you doing? I'm there. I trust you. I'm going. That was actually what I said. Something that I have adapted to from the South African culture is having a helper. I'm one of those women that love to clean. I think I'm like excellent at doing it. And that is one of the things that is part of the culture here, is to have someone actually help you clean your home. This home is larger than the one we had in the United States. So my husband says you actually need someone to help. And I would agree to that. So I've adapted to that. That was not easy. That is not easy. So that was one of the probably biggest things that I had to do, was adapt to having someone help me clean my home. Yes, we are definitely, I do want to buy property here, and I do also want to go into real estate here. Real estate is a bit different here in South Africa. I've actually been offered a position to sell real estate. I am not a permanent resident as of yet, so I can't work. I'm a retiree. Once we do that, I will definitely look into becoming a realtor here in South Africa, and definitely want to buy some vacation spots, maybe in Cape Town, or even something else here in South Johannesburg. Definitely. Definitely want to do that. I love the real estate here. What have I learned about being a property owner in Johannesburg? It is very difficult. It's very different from what goes on in the United States. It takes a long period of time, which I've never thought. In the United States, you purchase a home, you have a closing date. I say you enter into agreement. It may take 30 days to do title work or what have you on that property. Once that 30 days is up, then you meet at the closing table, documents are signed, it is recorded, it is your property. When we actually purchased our home, it still took almost 90 days, 3 months, in order for this home to become ours. And it's just like, whoa. So that part is different. It's actually scary because you don't know. And I'm saying it's scary because I'm coming from the United States, where things like that don't happen. It's probably not scary for people that live here in South Africa because they're used to it. That's just their process. But, once you hear all these terrible things, scamming, corruption, this, and this, and then now you've given all your money over to individuals who say that this is what they do, but now it's taking 90 days and things are happening, but you're not actually getting the title to your property. It's scary. So that's something too that I want to do. I want to be able to be that liaison to explain to individuals that are coming here from the United States exactly how the real estate, the purchasing process actually happens. Because like I said, it was scary to us and there was no one there to say, hey, look, it has nothing to do with you. This is just how it goes. And I would love to be that person. I would definitely love to be that person. So any individuals that are definitely watching and God has put upon their hearts that it's time to leave the United States, I would say definitely be obedient and do so. Definitely take a visit, find out where you're actually supposed to be, whether it's South Africa, Ghana, or wherever you're supposed to be. Definitely visit. Take it seriously. The United States is under judgment and it's not going to be anything different or anything you can do about it. I would tell everyone that is in the United States and everyone anywhere who does not have a relationship with Christ or God, I would have you definitely to repent. It's time for some big repentance. It is time. So that would be my final message to everyone. Repent and look for a relationship with Christ. And that is the tour of our home. So here in South Africa, this home is such a good price. This home in the United States would have been millions of dollars, probably somewhere between $2 and $3 million. It definitely would have. So the value of what you get, what you pay is outstanding here in South Africa. So thank you for the visit.